Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11 we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
That's right, it's Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B and B Strilla. What's up, B Strilla?
What's going on?
How has your week been, good sir?
Busy, learning new stuff, so everything's good. You know.
And I don't know if you got to watch that hit in detail. The one video I did where it was the replay, so you could see it in slow-mo and how brutal that hit was that Maurice Norris took off of the Carter's leg.
Yeah, I've seen it many times. Yeah.
I mean, it makes you cringe now, but now that you know he's okay, it makes you understand it better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the immediate reaction is he broke his fucking neck.
Yeah.
I mean, because
that's how they treated it.
Yeah, the way his head went back and the way his head went sideways, right when he hit the ground, and his helmet hit off the ground again. So that's a double hit to the helmet. And I understand these helmets are made to withstand a lot of concussions now, especially that Axiom helmet that most of the Lions team wears. But that much force in two different directions, I just think it was too much. So he does have a serious, it's not just a regular concussion, everybody. It was a serious concussion because he's in concussion protocol for 2 weeks, not the normal 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my biggest thing, is that this could still end up being something that affects him to where he can't play again. And everybody's just kind of sweeping that under the rug because he got out of the hospital.
I mean, if he can move all his extremities and he got his head, I mean, I think that's over. I think they're being overcautious, which is I would assume that would be the case with that kind of an injury. He probably got a concussion, and probably the fact that his neck snapped back like it did probably wasn't good for his spine. So I'm sure they're making sure he takes it easy. And, they don't rush him back into playing or training or any of that kind of stuff right now until they make sure he is physically, able to play. And I think he might not even play for the rest of training camp. He may put him on a PUP list or something like that, just, because he's not going to. I would not risk that any more injury to that guy. I would not.
And you're right. And it wasn't it. Everybody forget that an uppercut, the reason why it knocks a boxer out is the whiplash factor. What that hit that he looked, it would be like you or I taking a punch from Mike Tyson in his prime with an uppercut.
No, we'd be dead.
But I mean, that's the equivalent of the hit. That's
right.
The equivalent of the hit is what I'm saying. He's a conditioned athlete. Imagine if one of us took that hit.
Yeah, we wouldn't recover.
Yeah, we might not have been able to have enough neck muscle to stop it from snapping the spine.
We would be effed up.
Yeah, we'd be laying here doing this for the rest of our life.
We'd be drooling out the side of our mouth.
Eating applesauce and pudding.
Yeah.
Applesauce pudding and mashed taters.
Right.
Creamy mashed taters through a straw where it was almost soup.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That being said, the first thing I got was that Jared Goff made a very telling statement to some reporters, not at the presser, like when they're on the side of the field going off and the reporters are talking to him before they get to the press room. And they asked specifically about Isaac Tesla. He goes, it's like a light bulb went off. Isaac Tesla is doing great. He's been taking more snaps at the 3 than the 4 with the first team. And I think that's to see if he can handle it more than anything. I'm not saying Tim Patrick won't be our 3 in the season, but there's a chance he might not because of the development of Isaac Tesla in the run game as well as the passing game. We got Steve Bauer in the chat. Good to see you, brother.
No, Steve. Yeah, I just think that. I mean, with any rookie, besides the ones that have to be plugged and played early, for instance, Tyrell Williams and Tate Ratledge, they have to be put in immediately, where Tate can progress depending on how he plays. I'm sure that they're going to have a lot of offensive packages for him too. I mean, that's normal anyway for the Lions. They do all kinds of moving around their receivers. That's why it kills me when people say, well, mine's your number one, or he's a number one receiver. I say he can be played in the 2, the 3. All the receivers are interchangeable like that. So in that kind of offense. So yeah.
If I remember right, they had one formation last year where we went with the empty set. And the 1 was Sam Laporta, the 2 was Jameson Williams, the 3 was Tim Patrick, and Amon-Ra was at the 4. So don't tell me that he's set at anywhere on this lineup because we've seen him everywhere. I'm just saying we do some funky things with the way we line up our receivers.
He's a big body receiver too. So I mean, I would probably, and he's young and he's fast. I would try to use him as much as possible.
And that's the
What's
big
up,
thing.
Robbie?
Tim Patrick isn't fast anymore, and he never will be at what, 32 years old is he, or 31, something like that? He never will be fast anymore. But he is a good receiver. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's a good receiver.
But at the same time, the fact he's held together with scar tissue and duct tape with a dab of super glue here and there, that might be why they'd even consider moving Tesla to the 3 or rotating him in and out of the 3 more with Tim Patrick, because it'll help keep both of them healthier.
Well, I always try to keep track of the depth chart. It kind of changes, and sometimes it kind of stays the same. They do have Tesla behind Tim Patrick for right now. I think the thing that I find interesting, Jackson Meeks is behind Tesla. I heard Ronnie Bell has been playing really well in camp too.
Right. I heard basically because of Lovett's injury, and if he doesn't show something versus the Texans, because he won't be able to play this week. If he doesn't show something during the Texans, he might end up on the practice squad, and it's going to come down to Meeks and the other one behind Tesla and who gets that spot.
Jackson Meeks and Malik Taylor are 2 guys that are in there too, along with Jacoby Kenny James. Those are
Jacoby Kenny James has done some good things, but he's also done some bad things. He's done those mistakes that you expect from a UDFA.
Well, and that's the reason why his ass is in last place. So off the depth chart.
Yep, he's even behind Lovett, guys. So that tells a lot, because Lovett hasn't played for a game.
Yeah, and I mean, if it doesn't work out with Lovett, or like Dan, the guy that's the safety we got.
Wasn't he the 246th pick? Anyways, he was like 11 picks away from being the last pick in the draft, something like that. Yeah. Well, anyways, Dan Jackson, unfortunately, he's on the IR. We won't see him the rest of the season. That he had a major injury. And another one that had a major injury, which we said it was his put up or shut up year, was Colby Sorsdahl. We knew that he was. We knew he was a placeholder for when Miles Frazier got back at the end of September, anyway. So that's one less decision Brad has to make.
Yep. And Broderick Martin still at the back of the end of the defensive line too. I don't think he's another guy that I think they're going to just kick to the curb, because
I think he's a placeholder for Mekhi Wingo when he gets back healthy at the end of September. And I've been saying that, but he actually had some meaningful snaps, and he wasn't in the bottom 5 last week. He had more snaps in that game than he's had probably in any game of his career so far, whether at regular season or preseason, because he had 16 snaps last week. and he didn't grade out at the bottom. He graded out at a bottom average player. So he does have a chance to at least be on the practice squad. I don't know if he'll make the 53, and I think it'll be just like last year where they had him lingering between the practice squad and the active.
Ooh, this is his third year, though.
This is his third year.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
After this year, I don't expect anything. Is what I'm saying.
If he hasn't done anything by his third year, hasn't shown me anything in his third year, bye bye, guy.
Right. But I'm saying he did show some flashes in this last game, but I want to see it against better NFL talent.
I mean, he does that every preseason in training camp. He shows flashes and then he just falls flat in his face. It's a waste. It's like Sorjo. I just don't waste your time anymore. This regimen, I know they like to have hope and they like to, the guys that they draft, they want to be faithful to, but at the same time, you got to let it go. You can't hit on everything. It's something they need to start doing is just getting rid of these dudes and getting some guys that are going to play.
We didn't get rid of Jameer Jefferson until year 4. And he never panned out. Not one. I think he had one play. I think he had one play over 10 yards in all the games of regular season that he played. And it was a needed play because we were at 3rd and 18.
Yeah, there was
why we ran the ball on that play was beside me, but
he was there when we had Swift and whatchamacallit, dude that plays for the Saints now.
Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, Jamal. And he played pretty well in that season. That's because both those running backs have gotten hurt in that season. But after that, yeah, I'm glad they got rid of him. Oh. Well, he's not. He's Tennessee's problem now.
The Kings of the Jungle beat the crap out of the aggressive aquatic sea mammals on the first day of practice with a 2-hour domination effort that ended up 35-10. And this is ones-on-ones. This is our supposed depth backfield room shutting down everybody but Tyreek Hill because he's injured. And I think Jalen Waddle even came out of that a little lame, and he's just returning to play. So I'm waiting to see what the game time decision on him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
there you go, Jim. It's back. That's why he hasn't been here. He missed the music.
Yeah, I mean that's all good. It's joint practices are not always telling. I mean, you got to look at it from this point too. Miami's defense isn't the greatest. It's not. It sucks. One suck. That's all there is to it. That's why I picked them to be at the bottom of that damn division because they suck.
You and me both. We were the only ones that night on that AFC East review that had the Dolphins hitting the basement.
They suck. And I just don't see their offense matching anything. I know, right, Robbie? So, I mean, I don't put nothing. It's kind of like the same showing that Shaduki showed against Carolina's ones because Carolina's not got good defense either. So,
well, if you look at their defense, they were missing key pieces out of the starters. They were still starting backups, I think, at 4 positions in a preseason game because of minor injury and one major one.
Doesn't really matter. I don't think those
I know.
positions wouldn't done it anyway.
I know, but I'm just I'm just pointing out that there was that factor too, and it's preseason. The reason why preseason stats don't matter, everybody, except for certain things like how does the offensive line move, how does the running backs get through the holes when they see those lines? Because you're talking about your backups, you want somebody that does it the same way as your starters. That way, there's no transition if they have to come off the field, and you also want to see how the wide receivers run routes and catch the ball. That's pretty much all you want to see off the offense. And on the defense, did they get burnt like toast and look like Jalen Ramsey that bad year before he went to the Rams?
Mm-hmm.
Or did they stand up and at least make plays?
Yeah, really. And that's what I like looking at, the rookie plays, the teams like the UDFs, see how they do because they get a lot of playing time. the ones are all right. They just got. I mean, you know what I really want to see, and I know Dan probably. I know the Lions won't probably do this at all, but it'd be nice if the ones got a preseason start near,
Quarter.
the last preseason game,
Quarter.
like a quarter, maybe 2 plays or something, two drives or something like that, just to get them going. I think all teams come out rusty when they don't do that.
Yep.
Even the Lions.
I mentioned that last night on Fire Up about the preseason. There's only about 4 teams that really start starters every year in the preseason.
Mhm.
Miami's one of them. The Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Eagles. And that's pretty much it. And every now and then you'll see people splash them in, but it's not their full offensive starters. I'm talking about the ones where they actually let their starters play a drive or two every game. And there's certain ones that have gotten injured, and yes, it's horrible, but injuries happen in practice too, guys. We've already seen it. So I don't want to hear that. It's football. It's a contact sport. I said, the only way you're going to stop all injuries is to make it flag football and make it like the Pro Bowl. And you'll still have non-contact injuries in that.
Right. I want to see that kind of football.
I mean, they already have to put a pillow and blanket over the quarterback when they sack him. What else do you want them to do?
Or create rules for one defensive end.
Holy shit! We got Lions Rumble.
What's up? Whoa! What's going on, Rumble? Dang, dude, I feel bad because I've been wanting to text you, brother. See how you're doing.
He's doing good. He's back in Vegas, the last I heard.
Yep, he's back in Vegas. Yeah, you're right, Austin. And injuries are inevitable.
Absolutely, and especially with the weekend off-season workout schedules they've done, and we've discussed this ad nauseum. How you can take it right back to the death of Corey Stringer for the last year or 2-a-days. The very next season was a 30% increase in soft tissue injuries in 2018.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are making a lot of hype over the injuries we have in camp, but you got to realize this happens to every team at this time of the year. And boom, all right, that's cool. I'm gonna text you, dog. See what's going on with you, brother. But yeah, I think that a lot of people are making way more hype out of stuff this year in training camp because of last year's injuries during the regular season. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I'm going to say this right now, before we go any further. Because of the last 2 times I went live during live games, there was major injuries where we got the shit scared out of them. One where a guy basically died on the field in DeMar Hamlin. And now what happened to Mo Norris, even though it was a preseason game, I will not go live during a live game anymore. When you only do it twice, and that type of shit happens twice where the games get called both times, it kind of puts the fear of Jesus into you.
So what you're saying is you're bad luck.
Yeah. And we'll be doing the Lions Fan Cave chat tomorrow night. I'll get a free time from Mike when I can go live. It'll either be 8, 9 o'clock at night. Matt Henry. Holy shit. The missing Chicago Bear fan. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Absolutely. Lightning struck twice. I don't ignore that. That's God sending a message.
Mm-hmm. Or the NFL saying, hey, don't be doing that. No.
Vogel in the chat.
Let's go, Will.
For all you returning guys that I haven't seen in forever, here it is for you. The song that everybody loves. Yeah.
You know what? That's going to kind of be like, you remember Night at the Roxbury?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's why I started that the first time. When I did it, the first time I was just doing this. I was trying to get everybody to do Night at the Roxbury. That's what I was thinking of because it's almost the same beat.
No, I like it the way we do it though. It's because we all do it the same way now, and it's just a little bit of a change. Yeah, it's our own vibe.
It's our own vibe.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a little bit of that splashed in with a little soul because we grew up in places where you had to have soul to survive.
There you
go. DC coward, but the Packers at the middle. Yeah, I know. And let's face it, Love did have surgery on his thumb, but it's his non-throwing hand. They said if it had happened in season, they wouldn't have even did surgery, so he wouldn't have to miss games.
I mean, Cowherd can do everything he wants to, but I don't understand what the big. There's two teams in football that I just don't understand why people are getting so excited about: Cincinnati and Green Bay. Green Bay, they didn't make any changes and they're consistent. So what? They sucked last year. I mean, they didn't suck last year. I can't say that because they were 11-5. But at the same time, they weren't better than the Lions in any accord.
They were 11-6. They lost
11-6. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Including only winning one game in our division.
That's right.
Over the Bears when they sucked.
And then the Bears
lost
beat them.
To the Bears at the end.
And I don't think they got any better, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'll tell you what they didn't do.
Yeah, I don't know why they put the Vikings last. I'm sorry.
I got one thing to say about it. You know where they were worse at? Pass rush. Mm-hmm. They were 32nd in pressures and 30th in sacks, and both of those stats are behind the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want. As bad as our pass rush looked at times, we still managed to do better than them.
Yeah.
Oh, he had to mention it. Now I got to show it. You know I got to show it. Just for you, Lions Rumble.
Oh, by the way, Chicago will be starting their starters this preseason game too. I didn't know it's vegetarians.
Oh, get that off too soon. I didn't know. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's all day. Yeah.
You know, I'm at the point where I don't know if we need Zadarius Smith back.
I think he hasn't been there right now, unless somebody gets crucially injured on our line. I think that's the only way. The last time I heard is that the money situation has just been something that they've been going back and forth on. I heard him even put something out on his his X account that they've been there. It's just the fact that it's whether they want to bring him back or not. So it's in the Lions' court, really, because he said he'll take a pay cut. He has no problem because he wants to keep up the same thing that was going on was there. But, yeah, I don't think they're going to bring him back. Sorry, guys.
So in that slaughter of the aggressive aquatic sea mammals, like I said, 35-10, Aiden had 2 sacks. So he's looking like he's back at form because he was beating their all-pro right tackle. So say what you want. Aiden's back, guys. But the dust-ups between former Lion safety Ifeatu Melifonwu and Jameson Williams on a 50-yard bomb to J-Mo burning Iffy so bad that he pointed at him and said, "See, that's why you're not a Lion."
Yeah,
and then
true. But
and then another one between Dan Skipper and KJ Britt. The dust-ups are going to happen. It's football. That's what I got to say about that. Do you disagree with that at all?
No, I was just reading Robbie saying, no, I don't disagree with you. No, I think it's as good. You talking about the AFC North, don't even try it because Cleveland's in your division. Chicago's better than Cleveland. Sorry.
By accident. By accident, Chicago's better than Cleveland.
Minnesota's better. I mean, I don't know. The only thing is I'm not sure about the Lions versus the Baltimore Ravens yet. They have to show me they can go into M&T Bank Stadium and beat them because they haven't done that.
He goes by a husk about Chicago being better than Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm going to address it one more time. We had 2 running touchdowns, one on a fake punt to David Montgomery where he broke it off and hit a 20-yarder. So everybody that was worried that the trick plays are going to go away, boom, they didn't.
No, I mean, it's not going to be as frequent as it was when BJ was here, but I mean, it's the same offense. Morton and him created that offense, so I don't
I
understand.
know.
I hate an analyst in this. It's just I hate to go on these rants like this about this whole situation. Philadelphia had the same freaking thing happen last year to them. They had a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator, and they lost their All-Pro center, and they still won a Super Bowl. But you can't translate to anything the Lions do, though, of course, because that's just, it's the Lions. That was Philadelphia. They're the same team, basically. What are you talking about?
What I will say about Chicago versus Cleveland, then you're talking about the Cleveland that couldn't learn how to win anymore. They started out 4-2, and once they had that awful loss to Washington on a tip ball because Tariq Stevenson was stupid, bat a ball down, not up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean that's what I'm talking about when they get preseason stuff. You play a couple of preseason things, and I'll be happy with that.
That's where I'm at, Austin. We're all in agreement. We're all in agreement on that.
That's because
Calvin Shepard was a part of this thing the whole time. Sean Dion Hamilton was a player that changed to be the assistant coach behind Calvin Shepard. So that doesn't change the way the linebackers are coached.
And I love the people that they replaced him with. Tashard Choice is a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they replaced the people that we lost. Yeah, we lost some other guys too that were kind of detrimental to our offense. But I mean, we replaced them with equal guys. In fact, the defensive line coach, we lost him. We got the best one in the league.
Yeah, the one from the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
The one that turned Vita Vea into a household name.
Mm-hmm.
That guy didn't leave. He lasted through 3 coaching regimes till this year. And when they fired their defensive coordinator and hired another one, and it wasn't him, he was gone with Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a extraordinary defensive line coach, and not like we didn't have an extraordinary line coach last season either. He was like second maybe to this guy, so we should be fine. Yeah, I mean, the offensive and let me tell you, they do speak volumes on your team. Okay, your head coach is your guy, your motivator. DC's doing everything that a head coach is supposed to do.
Right.
But with your offensive and your defensive coordinators, and they do help. They do. BJ did put some things in that Lions offense that helped him out a lot. And AG, I mean, I think Shepard's going to be a better defensive coordinator than he is. But you got AG did a lot with that defense when we didn't have anything. So.
Yes, 100%. We already seen it. Last year, we increased our pressure rate, the blitz rate, by 10% over the previous 3 seasons under AG. And we've already seen this season, Calvin Shepard in preseason has increased it in 2 games by 10% over that.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you a 10% increase with more players blitzing than we used to use. Because AG, when he blitzed, it was 5. It was like a religion. You're not blitzing 6. You're not blitzing 7.
And you know what's going to be even better about this? Shepard is going to improvise the quarterback watch. So a linebacker is going to be on, like, we play like what? Jordan Love the first, and Caleb Williams, and then Lamar Jackson all in a row. And those are basically mobile quarterbacks. So think about that. And you know what AG didn't do last year? Look, have a quarterback looker. He doesn't like that. He never believed in that.
If this is my thing with AG, he hired Tanner Engstrom to be his offensive coordinator, a first-time offensive coordinator. He's a defensive-minded coach. He needed an experienced offensive coordinator. We don't know how that'll work. It's a good hire because of what the potential of what Tanner Engstrom could be. But I think they should have went with an experienced guy and made Tanner Engstrom the same thing he was for the Lions, the assistant OC and passing game coordinator for a year at least. to get his feet wet.
Well, I think it's just I mean, Dan took a chance on BJ too, so remember that. BJ was just a passing coordinator before he became an offensive coordinator.
Right.
And I think it's the same thing that AG wants to instill. AG has basically got the same blueprint for the Jets that the Lions do. And they're probably going to start off the same way the Lions did. They're not going to be a tremendously good team, but they're going to show a lot of grit. And they're going to push games to like a 1 touchdown, 1 point lead or something, if they lose. So
that being said, we do have. I want to expound about exactly the quote because I had to pull it up again from Jared Goff on Isaac Tesla about the light bulb going off. He said he started to catch up and he started to understand the physicality it takes. He certainly has a chance to have a role in our offense and has done a great job getting better every day. That is what he told Nolan Bianchi. And I believe he's of USC Today Lions Wire. He's one of those guys, if I remember right, Nolan Bianchi. But the other one is some roster moves that we had to make. Yesterday, Pat O'Connor, Tom Kennedy, Terrion Arnold, and Lovett finally returned to practice again after their injury. Kirby Joseph and Manu had a day off, but Patrick and Malik Taylor were absent yesterday with no designation. So that's
who was that?
Malik Taylor and Tim Patrick, both of those wide receivers had a day off with no designation yesterday. So keep an eye on those because that could be something bigger down the road that we won't find out until Monday. They
Tim
don't.
Patrick, I think it's just a veteran day off. Sometimes they do. They used to do that for Ragnow too.
Right. But I know that's what it was for Joseph and Manu.
Because I know Tim Patrick is like you said, he's up there in age. He's come off of a couple bad injuries, so they want to try to keep him fresh, and in practice and stuff like that. Because he's already been critical about himself. So, amen,
brother. I said it too because everybody said, "Man, he had so many penalties his rookie year," and I was like, "They were all before week 8. They were all before week 8." Everybody forgets how he was batting stuff away from C.D. Lamb in the Cowboys game, even after Hutchinson went down.
Yeah, I mean he became better as the season went on, which I expected him to do as a number 1 pick. I mean, you remember cornerbacks. There's not too many people that can come out the gates and be a shutdown corner. It right. doesn't happen in the NFL like that. It usually takes them 2 to 3 years. Yeah, Sauce is okay. I mean, and even though Sauce is my guy, I love the guy, but he's kind of regressed over the last 3 seasons too. And I mean, not regressed for him. I mean, he's still a great corner, but TA is going to take it's going to probably take him about 3 years. Maybe this might be his breakout year, but his 3rd year, he's going to be a gem. And he's playing on the opposite side of Reed. And they say Reed's been killing it in camp too. So, yeah, he said that and I talked to Tim Twentyman about who was one of the best what do you say he was? Oh, one of the best units out there. And he said that the secondary is the best unit. He pretty much said the secondary is the strongest unit right now, which I absolutely believe. Too much B-dubs for Sauce Card. Hey, that's my boy.
And if you look at Reed, the only thing that he did wrong last year is he's kind of like TA, but a veteran at it. He led the league in illegal use of the hand on defense. He had 11 of them last year, which means he had more than Terrion Arnold and CD3 combined. Let's not call CD3 and TA awful at penalties. They just did it with awful timing.
I mean, you got to look at it too. When you have a CB,
he's physical.
Like Reed is 5'9", dude's 5'9", and he has to be physical because he's 5'9". and he's 190 pounds. Dude he's a thick guy, but at 5'9". But he you know, when you have small, I see it all the time. Small corners they got to fight like a chihuahua out there.
Right. And the bad combination is exactly what we drafted in the second round the previous year.
Mhm.
And that's tall and thin, like Ennis Rakestraw, who's 6'1" and only weighs $185 soaking wet. That's why he's struggling to stay healthy. I hate it for him because we were hoping he could, but he's already out for the season. So he has to prove it next year. This is his second year. Remember, it does take 3 years on CBs.
And see, we have two corners that are small but are great. Amik Robinson's only 5'9" too, but that dude can play. He's quick, and that's one good thing you have.
What was it Devontae Adams said about him in practice at the Raiders? He plays like he's 6'4".
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Right. He's been on the outside, the inside. He's played safety. You know what he is? He's a shorter version of Brian Branch. Is what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Can play anywhere in the secondary.
Yep, that's what I keep trying to tell people. When we got him, I said that's just an older version of Brian Branch right there. That's all it is.
And a shorter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's not get it right.
But the player himself, he's just he plays like Brian Branch does, and he's just older version of Brian Branch. That's all it is. So I mean, it's good.
We sent 2 players to the IR again, and that was offensive lineman Keaton Sutherland, and my personally favorite guy to make fun of his name, DiCaprio Bootle, the cornerback, because I said his mother must have been a Titanic fan and named him after it. But they're gone, and we picked up offensive lineman Zach Cunningham and cornerback Alan George to replace them. So I love how every time we put somebody on the IR before the signings are now announced, the Lions are talking to an all-pro corner. The Lions are talking to an all-pro offensive lineman. Wait till the dust clears on the day because they make their moves in the same day.
Somebody summed up Bootle the correct way. Bootle is just another Vildor. He's a cornerback that can get it done, but not all the time. No, I don't agree with that, Jim. I don't.
I do, to an extent, because in those first 2 drives, Washington did not score. And that was while he was on the field. As soon as he left and Kendall Vildor came in, it was over. They scored at will.
That was just going to catch up with them, though. The defense was bad, period. It was just going to catch up to them. There was nothing that they weren't going to stop. Once they got that train rolling, they weren't going to stop them. I think, and like I said, if Goff didn't turn the ball over 4 times, then they would have been. They would have won that game. It was all in the offense. The offense already knew the defense was stale. It wasn't going to be able to stop Washington once they got going. They have to score every time they had a possession, and when they didn't score on one possession, that was the game right there. Doesn't make a difference who they had. I mean, if the Lions had all their defensive starters, it would be a whole different show. Yes, but no, I can't agree with that one. That wasn't going to help. It didn't help that he got out of there, true, but I don't think he would have been the savior of that defense. He can't rush the path. He can't rush the quarterback, so we had problems with that. But that's all right. That was last year. This is this year. I don't see that happening.
Jonathan Ray, I haven't seen you in a minute. How you been there, Brian? Brownie fan, right? If I remember right. I'm feeling good. I still feel like we got the team to beat this season in the division because we were at the top when we left, and we're healthier coming in. So I think that the injuries are the only thing that could derail the Lions. I see it like a 12-5 year again. I don't think they'll get to 15. Holy smokes! Look who came in late, but here. What up, Dad? Oh, he's a Panthers fan.
He's another Kitty fan.
At least he's a big cat.
Hey, Jonathan, how you feel about your Panthers this year? That's something I want to know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I told Will Vogel there, Jonathan. I think this might be the best Panthers season season in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying
I think they'll do
playoff worthy. I'm not saying playoff worthy, but I know they won't be in the bottom of the division again. That's going to be firmly held by the Saints, like that girl that the Navy boys pay on payday. Going to be firmly held right there.
Yeah, the Saints are. I think the Saints aren't going to be very.
And you're
Good.
absolutely right. That's where we're at. I think we're on the same page. The offense looked like it was getting itself righted at the end of the season underneath your new coach. Oh, no news on Z, but Hassanin is playing.
Mm-hmm.
He's already been back at practice full. He only missed a day. He only missed a day. It was a calf strain, like I reported when it first happened. We only had 4 players miss practice yesterday, guys, and I named them. Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Joseph and Manu with days off, is what it said. The undisclosed ones with the 2 wide receivers, Malik Taylor, right? Is that his name?
Right. Yeah.
And Tim Patrick. There was
Malik
no designation
Taylor
on there.
and Tim Patrick. Yeah. Just a day off for Tim Patrick, I think. Like
We hope. I'm going to say I hope, because
he's fine.
I'll tell you what.
I think it was a self-adjustment that he has, and sometimes the Lions are pretty good about that. The personnel from the Lions, they're pretty good about noticing certain things. And remember, he said, "You know what, Tim, man, why don't you just stay home tomorrow, get some self-reflection?" Because Tim Patrick is really hard on himself, and DC has said this quite a few times about him. It says,
"Oh my God, it's the Broski Bear."
Hey.
Oh, what's up, Broski Bear?
JB Bistrilla, happy Friday.
Happy Friday
to you, sir.
Yeah, it was refreshing to hear Bistrilla's quick breakdown of the playoff game last year. It was refreshing to hear a Lions fan not cry about the play calling or injuries.
Yeah,
shout out Bistrilla.
Game.
I've been
saying that the whole time.
No, I said it was a horribly called game. You didn't. Don't put words in my mouth, Bistrowski, because I did. I said it was a horribly called game. Both coordinators called the most vanilla game I ever seen out of them. There was no originality. There was nothing there. But
hence the reason I said it was refreshing to hear a Lions fan not cry about the play calling and not blame it on the play calling. That's all I'm saying. But anyway.
What's your
he did say play calling, but he said play calling was awful. What are you talking about?
I mean, I heard him say that it was all on the offense and the 4 turnovers by Goff.
5 and overall.
5 overall. Yep.
I disagree because guess what?
They scored
only 6
scored
points,
31 points.
Right. Yeah. There was only 6 points that was given up off of those 5 turnovers.
Well, 7 technically, because the extra point wouldn't happen.
Right, but you know what I'm saying? They scored 45 points. Take the 7 points off. That's 38. They still whooped the shit out of it.
Time out. So you're not including the pick 6?
That is the pick 6. That's the only point they scored off of the turnovers.
Okay. So the turnovers didn't make any difference. Just the pick 6.
That isn't what I did. That isn't what I said.
Okay.
Listen to what I'm saying. The defense still gave up 38 other points.
Okay.
If your offense scores 31 points, don't you win most games?
You should.
There you go. That's my point.
But if you turn the ball over 5 times on offense, you can't expect to win either.
We did it already.
Regardless if you score 31 points.
We did it twice in that season that we went 15-2, giving up 5 turnovers.
So, but we had a lot of our offense
between regular season and the playoffs, though, JB. Come on. The playoff game, 5 turnovers, you're not winning. And yes, you can blame it on the offense.
I have to say to that, though, is that we had a lot of our defense in that Houston game. We didn't have it during the Washington game. You can't continue to get 5 turnovers and make that excuse because you won 1 game. It still was 4 turnovers. They scored 31 points. They still scored 31 points, even with 5 turnovers. So think about that. If one of those turnovers wasn't a turnover, The Lions could have probably won that game.
Right. But at the same time, if the defense would have made one fucking stop, they could have won that game.
Well, they weren't going to make one stop. I could have said that when they came in that game, they weren't going to make no damn stops because they just didn't have enough players on there to do that. That's why the offense had to come out there and play like shining, come out there shining. Because if they didn't, they were going to lose that game. I just had that feeling.
I mean, I think we can agree it was pretty much a team effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm
every
getting
loss
at.
is a team effort. Yeah. If you're
Well,
playing coach.
you know what I'm saying? 5 turnovers on offense, and let up a ton of points on defense. Yeah, it's over. But anyway.
And why did that happen? There was a lot of bad play calling on defense, too. You saw it. If you didn't see it, you weren't watching the same game.
JB.
There was poor play calling.
JB.
No matter what.
JB.
I mean,
Both coordinators.
you got to understand something on the defense, though. We were playing people off the street.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And that's part
play.
of it right there. So yeah, the players make the mistakes too. So you if you don't have experienced players out there, it doesn't really make a difference. It's like that one call at the end. The Lions usually pride themselves on not getting stupid penalties, and the one near the end of the game was a stupid penalty, and that was the player's fault. That wasn't really AG's fault. So if you're not doing certain things, and BJ, the only thing I had a problem with him is starting Montgomery instead of starting Jameer.
I'll tell you
That's
what.
the only thing I had a problem with.
That is the one thing. Strilla, man, you're the fucking man, because we were thinking the same on this, and that was my I was like, no, that is a legit criticism of Ben Johnson for that game. To me, that was the biggest one. Like, why are you starting Montgomery?
Like, he's not even 100%. He was like about maybe 70, 80%.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's a legit criticism right there.
Also, on that trick play where they let Jameson Williams throw the ball, we have 4 legit former quarterbacks before they went to the positions they're at in college and in the pros, and we let the guy that had no experience whatsoever throw the damn ball.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, Jameson Williams is fast, right? So I mean, he could have just kept the ball and ran it. He could have thrown it out of bounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like that one, I'm not going to bet on.
I think there's a lot of experience that was involved in that whole play because somebody didn't tell Jameson, look, if you can't find a guy, throw the ball away or run it.
And that was also called after Goff already committed 4 turnovers. So at that point, he was like, well, my quarterback obviously isn't getting it done. Let's try something else. You know what I mean? So.
You see, and I disagree with that. It was just a trick play because that's what Ben Johnson does. Period.
But it was after the 4 turnovers, though. It was after the 4 turnovers by Goff.
I know, but I disagree that it was not faith in Goff because they scored in between those 4 turnovers. That's what I'm getting at.
But anyway, I didn't want to come on to try to make it sound like I was trying to attack JB or anything. That was last year. We're on to this year. One thing I wanted to ask you guys, Hutch, I'm hearing all kinds of things now that he actually does look better than ever. He actually is just destroying anyone and everyone in front of him.
He destroyed that all-pro right tackle during the 2 hours we dominated the aquatic sea mammals the other day. You heard about that, right? What we did to him?
I've been hearing all types of stuff. It really sounds crazy to me.
In that 2 hours that we played against them, they only scored a touchdown and a field goal, and we scored 35 points. So it was total domination, is what I heard. Hutch had 2 sacks. Davenport had another. David Montgomery ran for 2 scores, one on a trick play that equaled a 20-yard red zone touchdown. Amon-Ra, Tesla, and Jameson Williams had touchdown passes. J-Mo burnt Iffy so bad that Iffy started to fight with him.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm actually convinced now that, Hutch is back. He's going to be nasty. And I'm also convinced that Tesla's got a lot of talent, man. Now, I do think that, you know how it goes every preseason, whatever. There's always, that wide receiver who's the camp all-star. And then when the season starts, you don't really hear from him that much anymore. I think that'll hold true with Tesla a little bit, but I think by the end of the year, he's going to get worked in more and more.
Well, they already started with the regular practices what I was getting at. Because he's working out with the first team now, not the second and third string in those practices at camp.
Is he really?
But,
He's
yeah,
working out like over Tim Patrick.
Yeah, I heard he's taken anywhere from 50 to 75% of the snaps over Tim Patrick
Wow.
with the first team offense at
Again,
3. But they should do that. It works for his
yeah,
development.
it's training camp. That
Yeah,
happened.
it-
That happens. That happened last year too with a bunch of
Yeah.
players. I mean,
It does happen in camp like that. Like there is
Yeah.
like you know what I mean. Like for the Bears, they're all pumping up that little slot guy, Zacchaeus or whatever. I'm like, dude, like he's been in the league 6 years. Like, is he shifty? Yes. Is he going to be like a go-to guy during the season? No. Like you know what I mean. Like let's.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to.
it's kind of like Sion Vaki you did last year too. Everybody thought, oh, he's going to take over Craig Reynolds' spot, or he might even take.
Yeah.
No, I said no. I said he has flashes, but when he played in an actual game, he only had like 2.6 yards per carry. Dude, you can't do that.
I will say about Tesla, like I am surprised. He does seem like more NFL ready than I thought he would be. Now, granted, he hasn't played a snap in a regular season game yet.
True.
However, I will say, like, yeah, he's so far. I'll say he's got a little more to offer than I thought.
I say he looks exactly like Brad Holmes wanted him to so far. And I hope he does it in the regular season too. That's where I was at. And I gave you my prediction. I said he's going to have that 30 to 40 mark. He's going to have that 500 to 750 yards. And I said 3 to 5 touchdowns. And I never backed off of it, did I?
I hear you, man. No, I hear you. Yeah, and what Yanzer's saying, yeah, true. I mean, I don't put any stock into preseason at all. To me, it's all about health. So it's like with the Hutch thing, it's like, okay, he does seem actually like really healthy, that he's actually fast and quick and agile and strong. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm going on.
Right. And
also
the film that came out, where you got to see it. You know what I mean? It looked the same, if not better.
Yeah. I was wondering, does Mad Yinzer ever put down the Iron City or in the Yingling Loggers and the Utz potato chips and call in?
He's a throwback. Tysa looks a lot like Largent, but we'll see in the regular season game. I like that comparison. I like the comparison. No. I like comparisons, but I'm not going to say he is that. There's a difference.
I don't even like that comparison.
I think he's saying that skill set.
I mean, if anybody he can be compared against is dude from New England.
I'm going to let Bistrilla hear exactly what Jared Goff said about Isaac Hislop. He's seen a light bulb go off. He started to catch up, and he started to understand the physicality it takes. He certainly has a chance to have a role in our offense and has done a great job getting better every day, is what he told Nolan Bianchi, Lions Wire beat writer. Iron City is disgusting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Prayers up to the steel workers just outside where the accident happened. Last I heard, 2 dead, 13 injured. Prayers up to those families. There's a GoFundMe out there if you want to help them, because Ralph brought it up Wednesday night. I wanted to make sure I put that out there. Prayers up to those families dealing with all that.
What's up, poor JB? I missed what you said.
Near Pittsburgh, one of the steel working places had an accident. There's 13 injured and 2 dead as of Wednesday night. Prayers up to those families and all the ones dealing with the lingering effects after that incident. Mm-hmm. If they have an incident like that, that steel firm is shut down. So they're all out of work right now. So
yeah, that's a shame, man.
Hundreds of people there. So prayers up to them. If you can afford it, go to the GoFundMe. Go to the Pittsburgh City site. The GoFundMe link is there. And take care of those families if you can afford it.
I hear that.
You know what's funny is everybody talked about Michigan and all the other fan bases that at one point or another have called us a welfare-ish society. Do you want to know what state in the United States gives more money to charities than any other state from their constituents?
Tell them, JB.
Michigan. Number one by over $20 million.
Yes, Michigan. The feelings forever.
So,
Do you remember that commercial back in the day?
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
that was during, I think, Engler's reign when they did the Yes Michigan one. Now it's Pure Michigan, which that started with Granholm, thank God, and not Governor Whitlis, because I hate that horse-faced bitch. Yes, go Lions,
All
go
right,
Blue.
Jim.
That being said, we have reached the end of the program. I do want to say that Michigan's hammer came down from the NCAA. Sharon Moore gets one more game and $20 million in fines
Is it-
out of their revenue.
Is it really a hammer? Though? Like, you're being
I
sarcastic.
know. I was being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic. My
There you go.
governor's an idiot. Yes, Governor Whitlis. That's what I've called her ever since she got in. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you why I'm kicked off the WNEM Facebook site. They posted that Caitlyn Jenner was running for governor of California, and I put Caitlyn Jenner and Governor Whitmer's pictures side by side. I said, how can she run in California when she's already the governor of Michigan? I got booted.
Really? You got booted? Really?
I got booted off of the
I
whole
wonder
WNEM
why.
Facebook site. Because they're almost as liberal as Disney.
Well,
And now Disney owns the NFL network because ESPN bought it. Oh boy, it's going to go woke.
yeah. They're wearing goofy cartoons now.
Hey, you heard why Mickey divorced Minnie this past year, right?
Why?
She was fucking goofy.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
You like that one, huh, bro?
That was funny. That was funny.
All right. Well, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Thanks to Broski for popping in. Thank you, Bistrilla. And he'll be back every Friday for the noon show. Much love to everybody in the chat. From Robbie DeFeo to Jim Jackson. If you're a Viking, Packer, or Bears fan, fuck you all. Have a great day.
Sorry, broski.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports, just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken, stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 podcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts. Tune into the Huddle.